I'm making this video to show my thought process as I'm fighting Savage Omega. This build is based off of CaoSlayer's Gun Lance build that he posted for Savage Omega specifically. One of the big things is having wide range on your build so that you can be everyone's healer. Right now I'm buffing myself with seeds, and I'll be moving on to powders because I forgot to do this in the hub. I have a build with a speed eater and power prolonger so that these will last longer, so I don't have to use as many resources. If I'm the first one to Omega, I will usually use my Painter's Soul item before he actually does any attacks, but since I'm not, I've just decided to go in with the Wyvern Fire immediately for the juicy damage. One of the important things to do as a Lance and Gun Lance player is to get Omega's attention. So right here, I used my Focus Strike on his head to try to get as much damage as possible so that he will be on me. Right here, Omega is leaving, so I'll take this time to use my Painter's Soul that I couldn't at the beginning, so that I'll have the wing motif version of it available later. Make sure you also take the time to get the extra supplies out of the Sacred Pouch. It's very useful when you run out of stuff from your hotbar. One of the things I want to emphasize is that on a Lance and Sword and Shield, back hops are going to be cover way more distance than forward hops and side hops. So make sure you use back hops whenever it's safe. Larboard and starboard are a bit hard to remember, but the way I remember it is that larboard starts with an L and left starts with an L. Freezes like that can usually kill people if they're not being healed, so make sure that you take the time to actually heal people if you see them caught up. Here I try to use Painter's Soul, but as you can see I have the Mustard Bomb on it, so I dodge roll to cancel it and run out of the way. Here I should have blocked, but I thought I'd have enough distance, but because I doubled back, I got punished for it. You gotta make sure you're very decisive. This is a good time to use Painter's Soul because he's doing this big attack and it's not focused on me. So here I get knocked down because he decides to charge at me. It's very important to hold block when you have Lance and Gun Lance because you should be building guard up, guard level 3. They will save your life when it counts the most. Here I'm taking the Heat Mantle bug because you should always try to refresh these things whenever you have an opportunity to. So here everyone's low, and he's starting to charge up his beam, so I decided to, well, I try to heal everyone. I ended up using a potion instead of a life powder, which is on my F2 slot. When Omega uses his Mustard Bomb, he will take the time to turn and actually face the person when shooting it, so you can kind of position yourself to where he's going. This is a good showcase of back hops giving you distance. You don't really want to be hanging around this guy when he's doing a temper tantrum like this. Sheath your weapon and get on your sacred if you can. After this, he'll have his wounds open up. Here, I just recommend you go for any wounds you see. While some weapons do gain resources from popping wounds and others don't, I just think it's safer to pop them early. Alright, now I got his attention on me, so all of his AoE attacks that usually target everyone now only go to me. This is what I want as a shielder. I made a mistake coming up. Omega will come up and his antenna will come out, and this can either mean a mustard bomb or missiles. I thought it was missiles. I guessed incorrectly, got greedy, and got punished for it, all in one move. I'm keeping my weapon sheath here because there's a bunch of crazy stuff happening over there. A bunch of crazy stuff is happening over there, so I keep my weapon sheath, allowing for more mobility, as well as being able to instantly whip out the block whenever I need it, like right there. Here we have the starboard wave cannon, which means that it's going to be shooting to the right. Remember, larboard starts with an L, which means left. For this whole part, I'm only holding down block because my shield will save it. It has guard and guard up, both at max level. So this was a mistake on my part because I saw a wound and got greedy. When I had two teammates that were below half health, always make sure to heal your teammates whenever possible, especially when they're both super low and at risk of getting one shot. So right around here, I see that a teammate is low, and I tried to use a powder on them, but they healed themselves back up while the animation was still playing, so I dodge rolled to cancel it. And here I'm just being a moron. These laser beams that come out of it can go really far, so if you're even like the slightest bit unsure that you're gonna get hit, make sure you just block or try to get a safe distance away. Right around here, I remembered that there was an icicle I could pull down, but I must have misremembered because it was not there, so that's why I looked up. Never go for the wound in a situation like this. Always make sure to go on the defensive unless you know that you can save your life. In public lobbies like that, you never want to risk your life because you can never know if your teammates will have your back. You're not in a voice chat with them, you can't call for powders when you need it. So make sure you don't risk it. Now he's doing a special transitional attack where he'll move from one arena to the next. You can tell that it's different from the others because the missiles don't target anyone in particular. I'm using a Farcaster here to go back to the item box so I can get all of my stuff back, all of my powders and potions, and maybe even change my mantle. If you were using something like a corrupted or evasion mantle in the first two areas, you want to switch to something defensive, like Rocksteady or Mending Mantle. I'd recommend Rocksteady here in area 3 for the Nursella that comes out. My seeds and powders have run out on their buff timer, So I'm waiting until I'm within 100 units of the boss to activate my supplies so that my teammates can benefit with the effects of wide range. I accidentally got the mount here, but I'm not going to complain because it is a free DPS window for my teammates to take advantage of. Although I will say, the later you do the mount, the more effective it is at preventing Omega from doing dangerous attacks. Here I'm doing the wound in the middle instead of the wound on the head, because this wound is a little harder to hit for most weapons than the one on the head. You'll still get a shield when you break the wound on the head, so go for the one in the main body, and let your teammates take advantage of the head wound so that they can get some resources for weapons like Insect Glaive or Longsword. Now that he's summoning Nursilla, you should refresh your buffs. Nursilla also tends to do an attack where she'll swing towards the person with a shield. Afterwards, you will want to try to stay as close to her as possible so you can avoid this AoE explosion. If you have a shield, stand on her head so you can tank her lasers and stuff, but if you have like a dual blades or a long sword, stay around the legs or the abdomen on the back so that you won't get hit so easily. So these mobile seedlings that spawn tend to come to you, so you can just wait for them to arrive, hit them a little bit, and they'll stun Nursilla with its bad breath. Make sure during this fight you not only pay attention to Nursilla, but also the HP bars of your teammates so that they don't get one shot from attacks like this. The Nursilla finally died, so now you can take this time to refresh your buffs once again, and also take the time to sharpen your weapon. Now the first thing you need to do is immediately go for the ledge, because that ice wall that you can pull down will actually immediately hit Omega Planetes if you're fast enough. It's also really important as a shielder to make sure that you grab his attention ASAP, because it won't take long for this dude to enter his angry mode. I have my hotbar here up in case anyone might get hit by these missiles. Usually this attack is free, but sometimes it's not. Here I'm trying to tank the laser beam for my teammate that might be incapacitated. It's just to help him recover when he needs to, and it looks like he escaped on the Sacred successfully. So here he now uses cannon surges instead of regular cannons, so he'll do this attack twice. The hitbox also will hit the head of Omega, but usually not the rear end, so if you're directly behind him when he does that attack, you should be fine. So here I have the opportunity to do those back hops. Back hops create a lot more distance, but make sure not to spam them, otherwise the back hop you do afterwards will be shorter. When this attack occurs, it's usually best to just block it. The reason why I say that is because oftentimes you'll follow it up with an attack like that. There, I tried to poke the hand to damage it before it hit me, but I failed. So if you have your weapon sheathed and he does these attacks, don't bother blocking it, just run. If you're on your feet, just continue running. And call your Sacred if you can. This attack can usually get people. I got my hotbar open, and I'm healing them as they take the damage from the frost. This right here was a mistake. My teammate got hit by that one attack and got super low. I should have taken the time to heal him, but I got greedy with the damage while he was doing the massive beam attack. Yeah, so this is where you really need to heal your teammate because, oh yeah, right there he would have died. If it weren't for wide range, I probably wouldn't have all those powders on me right now because I would have used them all healing people. So here I got his attention and I thought that he would stick around a little longer, so I was preparing to lead him under an icicle to get him low, but he decided to move to the next area. Since I know he's leaving, I'm just going to use my Farcaster, and I'll take the time to restock and change my mantle over to the Mending Mantle. Well, in this case, I forgot to restock, and I think I do turn around here, which is a mistake. You never want to waste time here, because it is a long trek back. I also want to take this time to kind of emphasize that you really shouldn't rely on your teammates to heal you. You gotta kind of treat them like a Divine Blessing proc. Don't expect it, but be glad when it happens. I actually recorded footage for a run that happened before this, but because I took too long, all of my teammates got super low. You can actually pop your powder at the edge, and if you have 5 levels of wide range, you should have a good shot of actually reaching everyone with your powder. Here, I'm gliding to get my seeds down from a safe distance, and also drinking potions in case it reaches anyone. So I'm trying to get his attention with this Wyvern Fire, and because the hitbox is so big, it also hits the legs, making it so there's a chance of a wound appearing. Again, when he does this massive beam attack, it's a good idea to get your damage out, especially when all your teammates are full health. And here is a shining example of Gunlance having the worst focus attack in the game. 2 teammates are below half health. Take this time to heal them with powders. Even if only one teammate benefited from it, it's still 1 cart potentially saved. I think this is a mistake here because I actually run towards my teammates, which is a bad move. Yeah, definitely a mistake. Try not to do that, especially since he now decides to go crazy. So I have my hotbar open so I can get my armor skin refreshed. But I should actually have my hotbar open for my potions so I can heal my teammates when necessary. It took Omega a second, but he finally decided to give me his attention. And for some reason, I was able to dodge that back on. But as per usual, it's important that you decide to guard, especially when there's very little downtime between attacks like that. once again, because I am guarding, I will never die. I have absolute faith in my shield protecting me from any danger. Here someone manages to break one of Omega's legs, which is very good, free DPS window, but more importantly, you get a free shield. Here, the Charge Blade player has Omega's attention, so I got my hotbar ready to drink potions in case he needs to get healed up. But here, one of Omega's other legs are now broken, and we can go in for another DPS window. I decide to take this time to grab a shield, and I shoot it at his head while grabbing the second one. I'm standing here not moving, not to shield the person in case they need to run behind me, but because the wound opens up there. And now I got two wounds, one on the head and one on the legs. We got the final wound here to disable Pantocrator mode, but that doesn't mean that we're out of the woods just yet. So long as Omega is still alive, you need to focus to kill him. I shot the shield there so I can grab another one in case I needed it for later. So long as I have Omega's attention, I am doing my job as a shielder. This is good. My teammates are more likely to die than I am as long as my shield is guarding his attacks. As you can see here, I was not guarding, so I was not able to tank that attack. And here, I take a ton of damage because I'm bad. Cheap deaths like that are the reason why you tend to lose runs, all because of one mistake. I believe here I decide to restock and also get my Rocksteady Mantle. But I forgot the Rocksteady Mantle, so now I have to go back and take more time to go get it. And if you look at the health bars of my teammates, you'll see that they will get lower and lower as time goes on. We got about 300 units to trek back. I take the Heat Mantle bug because might as well. I try not to buff myself unless I'm near my teammates, but I think I might need to focus on healing here, especially since they're gonna die. Remember what I said about healing near the ledge? This is why. Getting a mount during this part of the fight is a really good thing for your teammates because it's a free DPS window for them to do what they need to do, as well as giving them a free shield to use if you manage to get the head wound. Here with the Cannon Surge, block when he's shooting while he's facing you. You don't necessarily have to block if he's facing away from you when he fires his other Surge. Better safe than sorry though. This was a mistake from the Charge Blade user. As you can see, he ran into the fire and he died when he was at low health. I tried to get that clash, but unfortunately it did not trigger. I also noticed the icicle hanging above it, and I thought that I might be able to bring it down, but I think it misses here. No, it does not. That's good. I noticed the quest time limit there said 10 minutes left. You really don't gotta worry about these things. Again, a Savage Omega has 180,000 health from what I've seen on the internet. For reference, 9-star Gormagala with 4 players only has 55,000 health. So, you're in this for the long run. Here, I'm very low health, so I gotta heal up as fast as possible. My teammate over there is definitely going to get the wound because he has to. That's one of the things support hunters are really bad at. They don't really prioritize getting wounds as much. I get the mustard bomb and I accidentally dive instead of rolling, but it doesn't matter. So honestly, my thoughts on this fight overall are that it's really hard. It just demands your attention, which might not sound like a big deal, but for a lot of the fights in this game, following the mechanics wasn't as much of a necessity as it was here. I definitely don't mind them adding harder fights in the future, but it definitely was a bit of a, well, let's just say it felt like I was being thrown into a blender until when I figured out how to stay alive. But to reiterate before I end the video, I just need to emphasize, please, for the love of all that is good, use wide range before you slot your other level 1 decoration slots. I know it can be hard to do that, but it's so incredibly useful because it's one of the few skills that allow you to actually save your teammates from getting carded. As you can see here, I only got one piece of the Omega Data 2.0. I don't know if I can get more than one on a single run because I've only completed this fight like 3 times. So if anyone has gotten more than one piece of 2.0 data, please let me know in the comments.